All right, good evening, everyone. Yes, in this session, we shall be handling the type of fish or fingerling to stock in order to have good harvest. So, just like in other agricultural sector, you have to understand that it is the kind of seed that you plant that will determine your proceed. Yes. So, likewise in catfish farming, it is the type of fish you plant, it is the type of fish you stock that will determine the growth and the harvest level. Yes. So when you go for buying of your fingerlings or fingerling or standard fingerling or juvenile, any one of them you go to buy, please try to ask for the broodstock. Broodstock is the fish used in hatching. So there are some persons that hatch with fish that are not big enough. So their growth is not really that rapid. They don't have rapid growth. If you stock with such, you will feed and feed and feed. You spend more money in feeding, and they will not grow quick. They won't grow quick. So it is important you know the broodstock they use in hatching. That will help you to get good fingerlings for your stocking. This is why you need a mentor. Mentorship. You can't succeed effectively in fish farming without mentorship. Yes, that's why if you decide to partner with us, remember when I taught us about partnership, if you decide to partner with us, the G from Africa, for us to mentor you, definitely we watch you, we will see you through until you harvest, so that you don't make mistakes. Most persons that have gone out of business is because of these things. I know of a friend that bought about 7,000 fingerlings, and just because he has money, and he just bought a lot of feed, and he was feeding them something that is supposed to take him at least 4 months, took him 7 months, yet he couldn't get a good result. So you have to leverage on other people's experience in order to make the mistakes that some persons have made. Yes. So you have to understand the kind of broodstock. What broodstock is bringing that fingerling for you? So it is important. Then, like I said earlier, there are different kinds of feed. Some persons concentrate on local feed. See, it is the type of feed that you give to your farm, that you give to your fish, that will determine how their growth level will be. So you must understand it. It is a key factor to the growth of your fish if you want to harvest. Now, you must have a book where you will always visit it every day, week in, week out, so that you know how to monitor your fish. You know how to monitor your fish and also understand their growth level. These things are very, very important. So, like if you're using an earthen pond, or let me say, for instance, if you're using, like I told you earlier, if you're using a concrete pond and you are having at least 3,000, you should know that at least you should be having, like, let me say, if you're using 80 bags, because we will use 100 bags. If you're using 80 bags to feed them, it should be 80 bags into 3. Don't decide to minimize or economize. Don't decide to economize. If not, you'll be starving them. And once you're starving them, it will not have the weight. Like over here, a kilo of fish is 2,000 naira. So you should, if you're harvesting in 3 months and you don't feed them very well, if you're harvesting in 4 months, and you don't feed them very well, definitely they can't give you the weight that will give you good sales. So it is important you get a good fingerlings, and know it that it's not everybody that is selling fingerling that is selling good fingerlings. So it is important. Then understand that the timing of feed, when you feed your animal, when you feed your fish, is also important. When you feed them, then when you plant your feed, when you plant your fish, the fingerlings, for the first 1 to 2 weeks, always check them, because at times you begin to see some of them will begin to swim. They won't be smart enough to swim. Some of them begin to turn upside down. It is time, at this point in time, you have to know that it is time to do sorting. So you have to understand that there is at least in 1 month time, you do sorting. You separate the bigger ones from the smaller ones before they begin to wound themselves. Then understand the spacing. Don't carry a pond that is supposed to, don't use a pond that is supposed to carry 1,000. You make it 2,000, because if not, they are going to be eating themselves. So it is important you follow these rules in order to succeed in catfish farming.